Hello guys, this is Matthew Optimus. Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I wasn't able to do the reading your. Yesterday I wasn't able to read you guys the history of Christmas on History.com. Right here, you can see it. Pause it for a second and look at it. But I wasn't able to do that because I didn't have very much minutes on my phone to make my video. So I recorded I did a live stream on Facebook and showed everyone my new presents. And I know it's after Christmas, but I wanted to read this to you guys anyway because I want to. And if you'd like to learn about Christmas from me, go ahead and watch it. And if you don't, get off this video and look at somewhere else. Oh, and if you like, and before I do read this, post your comments down below and press the thumbs up button and press subscribe and press the notification button for further content in the future. So yeah, I'm going to be reading you this in 3, 2, 1. Christmas is both a sacred religious holiday and a worldwide cultural. Oh, sorry, that's just some stuff. Noises. Sorry about that. Worldwide cultural and commercial phenomenon. For 2 millennia, people around the world have been observing it with traditions and practices that are both religious and secular in nature. Christians celebrate Christmas Day as the anniversary of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, a spiritual leader whose teachings form the basis of their religion. Sorry, my armpit's really itchy. Popular customs include exchanging gifts, decorating Christmas trees, attending church, sharing meals with family and friends, and, of course, waiting for Santa Claus to arrive. December 25th, Christmas Day, has been a federal holiday in the United States since 1870. An ancient holiday. The middle of winter has long been a time of celebration around the world. Centuries before the arrival of the man called Jesus, early Europeans celebrated light and birth in the darkest days of winter. Many peoples rejoiced during the winter solstice when the worst of the winter was behind them, and they could look forward to longer days and extended hours of sunlight. In Scandinavia, the Norse celebrated Yule from December 21st, the winter solstice, through January. In recognition of the return of the sun, fathers and sons would bring home large logs, which they would set on fire. The people would feast until the log burned out, which could take as many as 12 days. The Norse believed that each spark from the fire represented a new pig or calf that would be born during the coming year. The end of December was a perfect time for celebration in most areas of Europe. At that time of year, most cattle were slaughtered so they would not have to be fed during the winter. For many, it was the only time of year when they had a supply of fresh meat. In addition, most wine and beer made during the year was finally fermented and ready for drinking. In Germany, people honored the pagan god Odin during the midwinter holiday. Germans were terrified of Odin. He is pronounced O-D-E-N, not O-D-I-N, as they believed he made nocturnal flights through the sky to observe his people, and then decide who would prosper or perish. Because of his presence, many people chose to stay inside. Saturnalia, or Saturnalia, whatever you want to call it. In Rome, where winters were not as harsh as those in the far north, Saturnalia, a holiday in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture, was celebrated. Beginning in the week leading up to the winter solstice and continued for a full month. Saturnalia was a hedonistic time when food and drink were plentiful, and the normal Roman social order was turned upside down. For a month, slaves would become masters. Peasants were in command of the city. Business and schools were closed so that everyone could join in the fun. Also, around the time of the winter solstice, Romans observed Juvenalia, a feast honoring the children of Rome. In addition, members of the upper class often celebrated the birthday of Mithra, the god of the unconquerable sun, on December 25th. It was believed that Mithra, an infant god, was born of a rock. For some Romans, Mithra's birthday was the most sacred day of the year. That's pretty interesting. In the early years of Christianity, Easter was the main holiday. The birth of Jesus was not celebrated in the 4th century. It was celebrated. Easter was the main holiday. The birth of Jesus was not celebrated. In the 4th century, church officials decided to institute the birth of Jesus as a holiday. Unfortunately, the Bible does not mention date for his birth, a fact Puritans later pointed out in order to deny the legitimacy of the celebration. Although some evidence suggests that his birth may have occurred in the spring, why would shepherds be herding in the middle of the winter? Pope Julius I, the First, chose December 25th. It is commonly believed that the Church chose this date in an effort to adopt and absorb the traditions of the pagan Saturnalia festival. First called the Feast of the Nativity, the custom spread to Egypt by 432 and to England. By the end of the 16th century, by the end of the 8th century, the celebration of Christmas has spread all the way to Scandinavia. Today, in the Greek and Russian Orthodox churches, Christmas is celebrated 13 days after the 25th, which is also referred to as the Epiphany. Epiphany, or Three Kings Day. This is the day it is believed that the three wise men finally found Jesus in the manger or something. Sorry. By holding Christmas at the same time as traditional winter solstice festivals, church leaders increased the chances that Christmas would be properly embraced, but gave up the ability to dictate how it was celebrated. By the Middle Ages, Christianity had, for the most part, replaced pagan religion. On Christmas, believers attended church, then celebrated miraculously. I might have said it wrong. In a drunken carnival-like atmosphere similar to today's Mardi Gras or something. Each year, a beggar or student would be crowned the Lord of Misrule, and eager celebrants played the part of his subjects. The poor would go to the houses of the rich and demand their best food and drink. If owners failed to comply, their visitors would most likely terrorize them with mischief. That's kind of crazy, but oh well. Christmas became the time of year when the upper classes would repay their real or imagined debt to society by entertaining less fortunate citizens. An outlaw Christmas. Well, that's not good. In the early 17th century, a wave of religious reform changed the way Christmas was celebrated in Europe. When Oliver Cromwell and his Puritan forces took over England in 1645, they vowed to rid England of dissidents and, as part of their effort, canceled Christmas. That's stupid. By popular demand, Charles II was restored to the throne, and with him came the return of the popular holiday. Yes. The Pilgrims, English separatists that came to America in 1620, were even more orthodox in their Puritan beliefs than Cromwell. As a result, Christmas was not a holiday in early America. Sorry, there was some stuff, or some spin on there. From 1659 to 1681, the celebration of Christmas was actually outlawed in Boston. Anyone exhibiting the Christmas spirit was fined 5 shillings. By contrast, in the Jamestown settlement, Captain John Smith reported that Christmas was enjoyed by all and passed without incident. After the American Revolution, English customs fell out of favor, including Christmas. In fact, Christmas wasn't declared a federal holiday until June 26, 1870. Irving reinvents Christmas. Irving? I can't even say his name. It wasn't until the 19th century that Americans began to embrace Christmas. Americans reinvented Christmas and changed it from the carnival holiday into a family-centered day of peace and nostalgia. But what happened in the 1800s piqued America's interest in the holiday. The early 19th century was a period of class conflict and turmoil. During this time, unemployment was high and gang rioting by the disenchanted classes often occurred during the Christmas season. In 1828, the New York City Council instituted the city's first police force in response to a Christmas riot. This catalyzed certain members of the upper class to begin to change the way Christmas was celebrated in America. In 1819, bestseller author Washington Irving wrote the sketch of Geoffrey Cran Gent, or Ghent or something, a series of stories about the celebration of Christmas in an English manor house. The sketches feature a squire who invited the peasants into his home for the holiday, in contrast to the problems faced in American society. The two groups mingled effortlessly in Irving's mind. Christmas should be a peaceful, warm-hearted holiday bringing groups together across lines of wealth or social status. Irving's fictitious celebrations enjoyed ancient customs, including the crowning of a lord of misrule. Irving's book, however, was not based on any holiday celebration he had intended. In fact, many historians say that Irving's account actually invented a tradition by implying that it described the true customs of the season. A Christmas Carol. Also around this time, English author Charles Dickens created the classic holiday tale, A Christmas Carol. I've seen some of the movies, and the Disney one, and the Jim Carrey one, by the way, and the Patrick Stewart one, too. The story's message, the importance of charity and goodwill towards all humankind, struck a powerful chord in the United States and England and showed members of Victorian society the benefits of Christmas, of celebrating the holiday. The family was also becoming less disciplined and more sensitive to the emotional needs of children during the early 1800s. Christmas provided families with a day when they could lavish attention and gifts on their children without appearing to spoil them. As Americans began to embrace Christmas as a perfect family holiday, old customs were unearthed. People looked toward recent immigrants and Catholic and Episcopal churches to see how the Episcopalian churches to see how the day should be celebrated. In the next 100 years, Americans built a Christmas tradition all their own that included pieces of many other customs, including decorating trees, sending holiday cards, and gift giving. Although most families quickly bought into the idea they were celebrating Christmas how it had been done for centuries, Americans had really reinvented a holiday to fill the cultural needs of a growing nation. And I have some Christmas facts down here, but I'm gonna do those the next day, or maybe today, maybe if I'm able to succeed in uploading this video. And that's pretty much it about the history of Christmas so far. So, all right, I want to ask you guys a question. What were you guys doing for Christmas? What is your Christmas traditions? What did you guys celebrate for Christmas? What kind of dinner did you guys have? What kind of meal did you guys have? And what's your Christmas tradition and all that stuff? Me personally, I rather watch watch DVDs of presents that I got as my presents. My presents were often DVDs, and I often watch them. 2 days ago on Christmas Eve, I watched Avengers: Infinity War, and yesterday during Christmas night, I watched the two movies of Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, and I think you might have saw that on Facebook during my live stream. And Christmas was good. I also made cupcakes on Christmas Eve. And just letting you guys know, I thought the Christmas Day and Christmas Eve were okay. I thought they were good. My stepdad and I saw a wishbone near the sink. We were carving turkey during Thanksgiving, and then I went downstairs and I showed my stepdad, and then we pulled on the wishbone and it broke in half. We both lost, and that's new. That was the first time ever. Anyway, that's all. That's it for this video. And I would like to thank the 12 subscribers on my channel. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I got 12 subscriptions so far, and I hope I get more in the future. And it's well appreciated that you support this channel. If you don't want to support it, that's fine. If you like this video, press the thumbs up button. If you don't like it, press the thumbs down. Post your comments down below. Sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. And then subscribe to my channel and press the notification button for further content. And that's pretty much it. Not again. That noise keeps happening. I'm getting a lot of Twitter stuff and all that. I'm on Twitter now. So I'm Matthew Optimus. Peace the Frell out.